Kevin King Casey back here in the program. Bellator 182 coming up here August 25th. He's got Chris Honeycutt. We're about 20 days out at this point. Obviously, you look good. I've been stalking you. I saw that you've been spending some time down at the body shop. I'm not sure if that's what you've been doing for a while and I missed it, or you just started going down to the body shop and I happened to catch it at the same time that you're going. Have you been going down there with Antonio for a while, or is that something new?
Well, what happened is basically my striking coach will not be able to make it out to New York for this fight. So Antonio has AJ fighting on the card. And so I thought it would be a good idea to go down there and connect with those guys, get some rounds in with Antonio holding the pad so he can warm me up in the back, and it won't be a situation of me back there scrambling to find someone who can hold pads during the week and things like that. And also, man, it's been a long time coming for me to connect with those guys and get some work in anyway. So
I understand that Aaron Pico is down there full-time as well. And there's been a lot of other guys that have started coming back in. The body shop seems to be like the new – it happens in waves. It's just how it goes with these fight camps. But it seems like the body shop now in California is the new hot spot to run to.
I tell you what, man, like I went down there and Antonio ran us through a session assisted by Jason Manley. Mm-hmm. I mean, this was no joke, bro. So, they're definitely doing good work down there. A lot of tough guys, a lot of guys out there down there that are hungry. So, I mean, hey, the body shop's coming up. It's, it's not like it's a gym that is unknown. People know of the body shop. They know of Antonio and the work ethic coming out of there. But, to go down there and experience it, it was great work. And, I mean, the energy in there is unlike no other gym. So I enjoyed being down there.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of fun. I talked to AJ, too. He's got, like you said, he's fighting the same card you are. And it's he's like, sometimes it's tough. You go in there and you got your old man beating you up. And then you got to go home and get yelled at by your old man at dinner. It's like this constant. He's like, but it seems to work for him, especially at 8-0. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
AJ is. Obviously, Antonio's got his stuff together because his kid is 8-0. It's not like he just showed up and threw some kid out there and he's like 3-0 or 3-1, whatever. He's got a guy that's had some tough fights and got him up. Is this something you're going to continue to do now that you've done it for this training camp? Is it something you're going to do now going forward, is spend some time down at Body Shop?
You know what? I enjoyed the environment down there. I mean, it was a great environment. The guys worked hard. It was a different look than what I'm used to. So I definitely feel like keeping an open relationship with those guys and continuing to get some work here and there.
Now, where are you training? Because I know you have a striking coach separate place, and you've got Black House, you're here, you're there, but that's the typical LA way. You have to kind of travel around and get all your looks in.
Yeah, fortunately for me, everything's in a close vicinity to each other. But my main training camp for MMA is Black House. That's where I'm doing the wrestling with Kenny Johnson. And I mean, all of a sudden we've had a lot of tough guys coming through to train. I got a lot of great work in this camp with Sean Strickland. He's been a great addition coming in and helping me with sparring and really up in the level in there. I mean, it's just a ton of tough wrestlers coming in for this camp, and it just happened that way. And so I've gotten a lot of tough looks for the wrestling going into this fight. My striking has been done with Anthony Hardunk, same as usual. Okay. I think this is going on our third camp working together. So I feel that I've gelled with the system at this point. Everything that we're doing is starting to become second nature as opposed to going out there trying to implement a strategy that I'm not exactly comfortable with yet. So, this will be, and also too, my last fight was the first fight that I worked with my strength and conditioning coach, Taylor Ramsdale.
That's right.
And he's the same coach for Alan Joban. And my last fight was a great performance, I felt, but we had to critique a few things, and we made those adjustments. And now, man, my cardio, I mean, I've been professional since 2010, and my cardio for this fight will be on another level. I don't want to tell you my secret, but I don't want to tell you what I've been doing different. But it's on a different level. It showed in the amount of rounds that I've been able to go in during this camp and the intensity that I've been able to keep up throughout those rounds. So it's not like we're guessing. Right now I'm full of energy. Everything is going good. I'm pushing 5 rounds plus in the sparring, plus my work week. So my conditioning won't be a question for this fight.
And I interviewed your opponent, Chris Honeycutt, this morning, and that was the one thing he said. We all know you're a great striker. We all know that you come in strong and heavy. We all know that you're going to hit hard. but then you have a habit of falling apart come second, third round. Like you get through that midpoint of the second round, we can see a definite severe decline in your output. And come third round, you can see okay, he's not out of the fight. He's not out of the fight. No one's saying that, but you definitely have an issue with your gas tank.
And I feel like that's what's ultimately stopped me from getting to this final level. It's never been a matter of technique. You know, of 20 fights, I believe I lost the first round maybe 2 or 3 times out of 20 fights. So when I have that pop and I have that fresh, that go, then I'm in there and I'm doing damage. And that's the thing that I only focused on for this camp, was making sure that. So I pulled back on some other things, which I don't care to mention, but and I really put my focus, and my trainer really put the focus into the conditioning. If these guys, I feel like I'll be a champion with the cardio. And that was the focus.
Now this has been an issue for you for a while. It wasn't like a couple fights you had some problems. It's been a long time that you've kind of had the gas tank problem. What made the difference now? Did someone have to have a conversation with you, or did you just finally wake up and go, look, I really got to get this under control? Like what was the process to work for this?
The process was initially, I've had medical conditions due to the weight cut, so it made me think, it made my trainers think, my team think, okay, we have to find the right way to cut the weight. So then we started manipulating different ways to cut the weight. Then it became, okay, we're not getting IVs, so that might be the issue. So we're always scrambling to figure out what it was. And now there was only one more thing to change, because I've worked hard enough. It came to a point to where I couldn't work any harder. There's no more that I could add on the plate. So what did we say? Hey, you know what? It's time for us to take away from some other things. And that was the adjustment. I was doing too much of certain things because I had a full plate. I couldn't train any harder. Yeah. And, now I pulled back on other things and put that extra energy into the cardio, into the conditioning. And, I feel phenomenal.
You look at your record, you haven't had a win in 5 fights. But you haven't had all those aren't losses either. You've had a couple of draws, you've had a no contest, and you had 2 losses in there to some pretty severe guys. You're talking about losing to Sam Alvey and losing to Rafael Natal. Like those are some serious names. It's not like you're getting beat up by some scrubs. So it's got to be a hard process. You're like, look, I'm putting all the work in. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm eating right. I've got my weight cut down correctly now, and I'm still coming up short at the end of the day. It's got to feel so much better walking in going, okay, now I got it. Now I know this camp. Everything's going to be straight. How much easier has it made your camp, because now you know everything is in a line?
Man, I feel a different level of confidence going into the fight. There's always been this little doubt in the back of my mind going into fights where I'm saying to myself, okay, I hope we have the right recipe this time. So it's, going in with a hope versus, okay, now I feel the difference. I know that I feel up to the level to be able to perform the rounds at the intensity that the fight will demand. Like I'm 100% confident in the fight.
So what's it like getting ready for Chris? Obviously, he's coming up from 70. He moved up a weight class. He's stature-wise, he's not a very big 85-pounder. Like, he's not very tall, but he has spent some time lifting some weights. He has put some mass on to be able to be more prepared at the weight class. But he's also a 70-pounder coming up to 85. Like, he's also one of those guys moving up. So what was it like getting prepped for him in training camp?
You know what? I have a huge amount of respect for Honeycutt. And, I don't look at him as a real 170-pounder coming up, because he's a wrestler. And he's been cutting a lot of weight to make that weight. And, he's one of those guys who is easily going to be 210 walking around, maybe even more. So it's not a situation of him being a small 85er. And he's a national champion level wrestler. So for me, man, this is the time, with everything that I've done to prepare, and also my pedigree, to go out there and make an example, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to fight someone who has a name, especially in the wrestling pedigree versus my pedigree, and go out there and make a statement. I've been in this game for a long time, and I feel like I haven't lived up to my full potential, and that's why I continue to fight. You know, at 36 years old, I don't feel that the camps are weighing on me. I don't feel like my body's slowing down. I still feel like I'm making improvements. Technically, I keep evolving, and that's why I continue to fight.
It makes sense, you know, and the reality of it is that once training camps start wearing on you, you're like, okay, it's time to stop. You're like, okay, this camp is getting to me too much. And there is the wear of training camp. It is the same thing every day.
Yes, sir.
Rinse, wash, repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat every day. That's all it is. Oh, it's Sunday. Okay, I get to sit down now, spend a little time with my family, and then, oh crap, it's Sunday night. I'm sore.
Yeah.
Okay, go to bed, wake up. Oh, I feel really good. Oh, but it's Monday. Now you go back to it's just, and then it's the same thing all over again. It goes nuts. It's just it is mind numbing. Training camps become mind numbing.
Yeah, you know the game, brother.
Is the fight still exciting too? Getting in there and you know the build up to the fight and the walking up and the crowd roar, all that. That's always exciting. It's when you get inside that cage and they close the door, then you're like, okay, now I really got I'm really here. Now I got to really do this. Is that portion of it still super exciting to you as well?
I love to compete. You know, I love to compete, whether it's a sport, jiu-jitsu tournament, whether it's a game of cards. You know, and my days, I'm going towards the last leg of my career, and you know, the thought of not being able to compete makes me want to compete even more.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm still excited about competing. Like I said, I'm still evolving as an athlete. I'm still learning how to put things together in a, you know, so they work smoothly. Like, you know, I worked with Anthony for the first 2 fight camps that I worked with him. It was just breaking apart everything that I used to do in adopting this new system. And you know how it is. I came to Anthony 9 weeks before I fought Sam Alvey, and I asked him, "Hey, will you be in my corner for this fight?" And we didn't have much time to work, so I'm going out there with no safety net, a whole new system. You know, the pressures that, you know how it is to fight, fight on the level, and you're trying new things out. You're trying to believe in something that you know theoretically works, but you're trying to implement it in the right way. So now it's, you know, the thinking part of that is out the window, and it's more like part of my style. You know, the wrestling is blend, jiu-jitsu is blend. I mean, Frank, you're going to see, man. You're going to see August 25th, a new Kevin Casey.
So you're looking at this. I'm looking at this fight card. Andre Korshakov and Chino Kajirami is the main event. Of course, Brennan Ward and Fernando Gonzalez is the co-main. I've got to be honest with you. I told Chris the same thing when I interviewed him. To me, this is fight of the night. Your fight is going to be fight of the night because it is 2 action-packed guys. They're going to come at it the entire time. Going to push the pace the entire time. Both of you are strong. Both of you are super confident. Both of you have done tweaks in each of your training camps to get ready. You know, specifically for this fight, both of you have finally got things laid at an even level where you're like, okay, now everything in my training camp is exactly the way it needs to be great. This fight for me is going to be fight of the night, and it's early in the card. It's actually, I don't think it's on Spike.com, right? It's not even on the Spike TV portion, right?
I was so disappointed when they didn't put this on the main card. I even made the shout out to Coker and said, hey, what's going on? Like, to me, this is a main card fight easily. So you know what I mean? It is what it is, and I don't know what we could have done differently to earn that spot, but this would definitely be one of the highlights of the evening.
You know, I've reffed a couple of Bellators in California, and the one thing I have noticed about every time you know me, I'm a fanatic, so I'm watching every single fight that's on the internet, every single fight that's on TV. I don't care, you know, I got whatever I got to do to get a hold of the fight. I'm going to get a hold of the fight. That's just how I am, top to bottom. But Bellator still has a lot of these fights that are dark fights. So it's after TV is off the air, after the main event's already gone, then there's like 2 or 3 fights that happen afterwards, after all that's done. And sometimes those fights are the best fights of the entire card, are these fights that only 300 people have stayed to watch. All the fans, friends, and family of those particular fighters, that's it. Everybody else has left the arena because they've already seen, you know, Chidi and Andre fight. Like, they're done. Main event's over, we're out of here. Everybody else is like, oh, hold on, my buddy hasn't fought yet. My brother hasn't fought yet. Yeah. You're one of those fights where people are going to be sitting at home going, "What?" They're going to read about it. They're going to see it on. They're going to see it on the internet. People are going to be talking about it. They're like, "Why the hell wasn't it on the main card?" You got to go to Spike.com early. You got to start watching the fights from the very beginning, early on the internet, because there are a lot of great fights that happen for Bellator that are off TV. They're just not on the TV. It's crazy how they do that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man. I saw Honeycutt. I saw my name, and I thought for sure that this was a main card fight. You know what I mean? So hey, it is what it is.
You'd actually have to move up 2 slots to get on the card, according to the way they have the list right now.
Yeah.
Man, and that's like, you're talking about people that ahead of you that are not gonna like, somebody's gonna get sick, somebody's gonna get hurt, so just move everybody up kind of thing. None of those 5 fights in front of you are gonna move. Like, none of those guys, everyone's showing up. Everybody's gonna be there. Everyone's gonna be there, even if their arms are falling off. No, I'm good, Doc. I'm good. I can still fight. And that's the problem with being at the level that you're at. This win, though, if you beat Honeycutt, this win puts you back into the map where you're like, okay, we got to have this guy on TV, 1. And 2, we have to start grooming him up to get ready for a title fight. This is a huge fight.
And I know what's at stake. And the thing is, I've been in this position many times. I've been in this position fighting Sam Malvey where it was like, beat this guy and you're going to move up the next level. I've been in a position fighting Rafael Natal when he's ranked 15 in the world. You beat this guy and you're on the next level. So I've been in these fights before, and this has been the smoothest camp. At the same time, it's been the camp where everyone has pushed me into the hole. My trainers, my coaches, they take a great deal of pride. The guys that I'm working with, the Gracies that I've been working with, hit on Gracie, some with Chrome Gracie. I mean, all these people take pride in investing their time and effort into me. So everyone's been putting me into a hole and making me dig my way out of it. Nice. No one wants to go out there and say, hey, we're with Kevin Casey and he didn't show up, or this didn't happen. So it's been a progression and it's been a slow progression, but I feel that we made all the necessary adjustments to have me at peak performance.
You're a brown belt underneath the Gracies, is that right?
I'm a black belt.
Black belt on the Gracies.
I've been a black belt since like 2010.
Oh, really? That long? I'm sorry, man. My fault. I didn't realize.
No worries. You're from the wrestling pedigree, right?
Yeah, and we don't do belts, so I forget half the time that I forget, honestly. I forget I have a black belt in Neil Melanson. I forget. I have a black belt. I just don't even think about it because it doesn't matter. If you're a white belt and you tap me out, you win. That's just how it works.
I actually forgot how long I've been a black belt till about 3 weeks ago, where I looked up on the internet and found the information. So, yeah. I mean, you know how it is. I don't even have a stripe on my belt yet. I haven't even.
It's a different game. If you want to get a belt system for jiu-jitsu, you have to dedicate yourself to doing only jiu-jitsu, and that's very difficult when you're trying to punch somebody in the head or knee him in the face. And you can't do that. And it's like, I know a lot of guys when they retire, like, yeah, I'm gonna finally go for my black belt. I've been a brown belt for 18 years. Why the hell what took you so long? Well, for 14 of it, I was fighting, so I couldn't really work on it. It's just how people have to progress, and that's what's going to, you fortunately got it earlier. But yeah, it is a super difficult task, and it's hard to keep up with. It's a different game.
My dues, man. I paid my dues to the other aspects of this game. The wrestling, the Muay Thai, the boxing. I really, really made those investments in getting up to par. I don't feel weak anywhere in my game. The cardio was the only thing that I had an issue of, and that's what I've been focusing on. Everything else I paid my dues to, and that's what Honeycutt's going to be up against. He's going to be up against sharper striking, good movement. If he takes me down, which he might take me down, then he's dealing with my expertise on the ground. Yeah. It's just a little bit different down there. So I mean, he's a tough guy, but if he's banking on me getting tired and that's what he wants to win this fight off, he's made a big mistake.
Yeah, this is going to be a great fight. Like I said before, for me, this is fight of the night. And Kevin, thanks so much for coming on here. I really appreciate it. One more question before we get you out of here. How's your weight?
I'm walking around about 196 pounds right now. So I'm clear. Yeah, 20 more days. The diet's tight. I mean, the other day, Frank, I went to Sand Dune Hill. I did 10 sand dunes.
Shut up.
I rested for about 2 to 3 hours. Then I ran 5 miles and then did my striking practice later. So, I'm pushing and I've never had enough energy to do that kind of stuff. So I'm on a different level right now, brother.
Wow, that is, and for the folks at home that don't know, Sand Dune is this huge hill. It's been there forever. A lot of volleyball players will go up there and run it soft sand all the way up to the top. It's about, what do you say, 50 yards, 60 yards from top to bottom, something like that?
It's a long yard.
Yeah, it's not easy because it's an incline and it's soft sand that you're running up. So it's super hard. But guys go out there, oh yeah, I did 10 out of 10. I'm like, man, you did not do 10. There's no way you did 10. I've never been able to do 10. When I was in my prime, I pulled out 5 before I fell apart. Like, that's just my body. I'm just not a runner. I don't have that ability. And it hurt. It hurt bad. If you do 10, then 3 hours later go run 5 miles, and then go do striking class, that's incredible to have that amount of energy.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's great. I can't wait for this fight to happen. Kevin, thanks so much, man. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your training camp. Enjoy the process getting out there for the fight. And we'll talk to you again later.
All right. Thanks for having me, brother. Always a pleasure.